Half a century has passed since the world first learned of the Zodiac Killer. But even today, the case of the serial killer remains unsolved. No one even really knows how many people he murdered. It's chalked up as true crime's greatest unsolved mystery. But was the Zodiac Killer always out of reach, or did he just so happen to slip through the cracks? Let's take a look right now in this video. We start in Benicia, California. It's a small city built on the waterside in the Bay Area outside of San Francisco. On the outskirts of town, there is a place nicknamed Lover's Lane. Like something out of a fairy tale, right? This secluded little road is where the young couples of Benicia go to spend quality time together, away from prying eyes, get some privacy. But one night, this romantic spot turns into a scene from a horror film. It's December 20th, 1968. It's a typical California winter, which means it's not scorching hot, but warm out, long sleeve weather. 17-year-old David Arthur Faraday and 16-year-old Betty Lou Jensen are going on their first date. Their relationship is brand new. They met just 2 weeks earlier at a church event, and sparks flew immediately. For the last 2 weeks, they were inseparable. David has been head over heels for Betty, even skipping classes to spend time with her. Tonight, they're going to Lover's Lane before attending a school Christmas concert. David picks up Betty from her home in his Rambler station wagon and promises her parents that she'll be home by 11 p.m. sharp. The poor Jensens have no reason to think that this is the last time they would see their teenage daughter alive. 11 p.m. would come and go, and David's station wagon does not pull up in the driveway. Out on Lake Herman Road, aka Lover's Lane, local resident Stella Borges passed by a parked station wagon that looks worse for wear. The windows are shattered, and something else catches Stella's attention. It's the dead body of David Faraday by the driver's door. Almost 30 feet from the car is Betty Jensen's limp body, shot 5 times in the back. Forensic evidence suggests that the killer parked alongside Faraday's Rambler, then climbed out and walked toward the car. Faraday was shot climbing out of the driver's side, and Betty was shot as she ran away. The killer then returned to their car, backed out of Lover's Lane, and disappeared without a trace into the night. This is as far as the evidence would go. The Benicia Police Department decides the murders have been a random act of extreme violence, as they have no indication otherwise. As the hot summer days of 1969 arrive, the case goes cold. That is, until July 1969 comes around. 15 minutes from Benicia, at the picture-perfect Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo, Darlene Farron sits in a car with her boyfriend, Mike Mago. It's the 4th of July, 1969, an unforgettable night on the ultimate American holiday, but Darlene and Mike won't get the chance to celebrate or remember this one. Another car pulls into the parking lot, where Darlene and Mike are sitting in Darlene's Corvair. The car drives around the lot, then leaves again, suddenly. A few minutes later, it's back, but this time it parks directly behind Darlene's car. A man climbs out of the car carrying a flashlight and walks toward Darlene and Mike. He starts shooting a 9mm pistol at the passenger window without saying a word, bullets hitting them both. The gunman turns to leave but hears Mike's groaning and goes back to finish the job and shoot him 2 more times. The ambulance gets Darlene and Mike to the hospital at 12:38 a.m. Darlene is pronounced dead on arrival, but Mike manages to pull through. He gives the police the first visual information about the killer. He describes a 26 to 30-year-old white male with short, curly brown hair, and about 5 foot 8 inches tall. 2 minutes later, at 12:40 a.m., the Vallejo Police Department gets an anonymous call from a man. The officer who speaks with him describes him as having a low, monotone voice. His words sound rehearsed, like he's written and is reading a script. In the call, he says, "I want to report a murder. If you go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway, you will find 2 kids in a brown car. They were shot with a 9mm Luger. I also killed those kids last year. Goodbye." The Benicia and Vallejo police departments corroborate their evidence and realize they're searching for the same killer. They're shocked at the outright confidence of the killer's phone call, almost like he doesn't really fear being caught at all. Is his killing spree over yet, or just beginning? You probably have a clue. Only a few weeks later, bizarre new information about the suspect comes out. But it isn't forensic evidence or witness testimony. It's much more mysterious than that. On August 1st, 1969, 3 newspapers, the San Francisco Chronicle, the San Francisco Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald, receive an anonymous letter. The letter states, "Do not print this cipher. I will go on a kill rampage Friday night. This will last the whole weekend. I will cruise around killing people who are alone at night until Sunday night, or until I kill a dozen people." The letters are all signed with the cross circle, the now infamous symbol of the Zodiac Killer. They also refer to a 408 symbol cipher that was sent with each of the letters. It's a kind of puzzle where each letter of the alphabet is switched out for another letter or symbol. No one dares anger the Zodiac, and all 3 newspapers would publish their unique cipher. The letters claim that when all 3 sections of the cipher are solved, the Zodiac's identity will be revealed. In the Chronicle's article, however, the Vallejo police chief is quoted as saying, "We're not satisfied that the letter was written by the murderer." They publicly asked the killer to send more information to confirm his story. The promised murders would never happen. Then, on August 7th, 1969, the San Francisco Examiner receives another letter, and the Zodiac Killer first gets his name. "Dear editor, this is the Zodiac speaking." Could be maybe the most chilling words you could read at that time. In response to the Vallejo police chief, the letter provides information about the murderers that only the killer could know. The Zodiac also addresses the police in the letter, saying, "They'll have me when they crack the code." But can you really trust a killer to give themselves up? On August 8th, 1969, less than a week after the ciphers are published, the puzzle is decoded. It isn't the FBI's greatest minds who would solve the riddle, though. It's actually 2 teachers in Salinas, California. So now they should know the killer's identity, right? You guessed it, they don't. True crime isn't so straightforward. The letter doesn't reveal the Zodiac's identity, but it does give a significant glimpse into how his mind works. Instead of his name, the Zodiac references a story called The Most Dangerous Game by Richard Connell. It's about a man shipwrecked on an island whose only residents are bored of hunting wild animals and now hunt humans. Not really the stuff of your typical deserted island fantasy. The Zodiac's letter also talks about his master plan. According to him, his killing spree is his way of collecting slaves for the afterlife. If he gives up his name now, he'll be slowed down or completely stopped from gathering any more slaves. Fast forward to September 27th, 1969. At the serene Lake Berryessa in California, 2 college students, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, are enjoying a picnic together. Their sweet moment is interrupted by a white man with slicked down, greasy brown hair approaching them with a gun drawn. Even more terrifying, they can't see his face. An executioner-style hood covers his face and his eyes are blocked by clip-on sunglasses. Across his chest, he wears something that looks like a child's bib, bearing the Zodiac symbol. He tells Hartnell and Shepard that he's an escaped convict, on the run after killing a guard and stealing a car. He pulls out several lengths of plastic clothesline and orders Shepard to tie up Hartnell before tying her up as well. At this point, the couple still thinks that they're being robbed, but the attacker pulls out a knife and stabs them both repeatedly. Hartnell is stabbed 6 times and Shepard 10. The killer hikes away from the bodies of Hartnell and Shepard back to their parked car. He writes a message for the police on the side. The message references the murders of David Faraday and Betty Jensen and the attacks on Darlene Farron and Mike Mago. He even gives a time and cause of death for Hartnell and Shepard. That evening at 7:40 p.m., the Napa County Sheriff's Office gets an anonymous call from a payphone just a few blocks away. It is the Zodiac reporting a double murder. Police find the phone hanging off the hook when they reach it. There's still a wet handprint on the phone, but it's never matched to any suspects. And Hartnell and Shepard didn't die by Lake Berryessa. In fact, they were both found before they lost consciousness. Shepard gives a full, detailed description of the attack before she slips into a coma and doesn't wake up. Hartnell survives to confirm the story. Ken Narlow, the Napa County Sheriff Detective, is assigned to the case as soon as it opens. He continues to work on solving the mystery of the Zodiac all the way until his retirement in 1987. Narlow never receives any closure for the attack on Shepard and Hartnell. Still, he does become integral to a 2007 movie adaptation of the Zodiac story. But back to the Zodiac's messages and phone calls. What's the deal with this guy? What does the Zodiac want? Does he want to be caught? Or is he just making sure he gets credit for his work? At this point, he seems to want some sort of glory for his achievements, but also doesn't want anyone to get in his way. It's the Zodiac's dedication to taunting the police with letters and puzzles that set him apart from most serial killers who go down in true crime history. Some killers like to tempt being caught because their ego cannot handle not getting credit for the crimes. But others, like the Night Stalker, set out to cause as much destruction as possible without ever getting caught. So, where does the Zodiac fit in? The Zodiac messages contain even more mysteries hidden within. For example, the handwriting on the car door in Vallejo doesn't match up with the letter's handwriting. But even stranger, the Vallejo handwriting doesn't even match itself. The police have no reason to think that more than one person wrote it, but look closely. You can see where it looks as though someone different has written the message. What do you make of it? Let me know in the comments below. It's a lot to wrap your head around, and we're just getting started unraveling the enigma of the Zodiac Killer. His mind games and horrific crimes would extend into the 1970s. The memories he leaves behind are haunting to this day. You can't help but ask, are you still out there, Mr. Zodiac? More on this very soon in part 2. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video and want to be first in line for new videos, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. And please hit the thumbs up button and the notification button if you like this video. And don't forget to share with your friends. It goes a long way to helping the channel grow, and it doesn't cost you anything. I'll see you real soon for part 2 of the Zodiac Saga. Thanks for watching.